The phone rang at 2:14 a.m. Her name lit the screen. I almost ignored it. Almost. But something in my chest tightened, and I answered. Her voice was soft, too soft, a whisper wrapped in guilt. I didn't mean for this to happen. Then silence. The line went dead. I stared at the darkness of my room, the glow of the phone burning in my hand. My pulse slowed instead of racing. Years of training conditioned me that way. The quiet before a kill, the moment between breath and trigger. But this was different. This was my wife. I replayed her words again and again, hearing what she hadn't said. The weight of omission, the tremor in her throat, the kind of tone people use when truth finally slips out, unplanned, unstoppable. I didn't move for a long time, just sat in the dark, listening to my own breath, already knowing something had broken, and it would not be fixed. Morning light revealed her face across the kitchen table, calm, smiling. "Too much of both?" she asked. I studied the way her hand lingered on her phone, the way her eyes avoided mine just a fraction too long. I didn't mean for this to happen. I sipped coffee, masking the acid taste in my throat. I didn't ask, not yet. Instead, I watched. The patterns began to appear. Late nights explained by work emergencies. Laughter when she thought she was alone, muffled quickly when I entered the room. And the smell. Subtle, foreign, clinging to her clothes like a ghost of someone else's skin. She was careful, too careful, which only meant one thing. This wasn't new. It was established, comfortable, a second life she thought she controlled. And me? I became the observer, the hunter, pretending blindness while sharpening focus. I started with her phone. Not by taking it, she guarded it too closely, but by watching, tracking her routines. She locked it, but patterns emerged. Numbers she dialed late, the subtle pause before stepping outside to take certain calls. Then I checked bank records. Small withdrawals, repeated, consistent. Cash she thought would leave no trail. The pieces aligned with mechanical precision. Still, I needed proof. One afternoon, I retrieved a strand of hair from her brush, a toothbrush from the bathroom cup. And then, quietly, I took my daughter's DNA through a simple swab, tucked away like any caring parent might. The test wasn't for curiosity, it was for certainty. Days passed. I operated like nothing had shifted. I kissed her cheek. I laughed when required. I made dinner, washed dishes, folded laundry. On the surface, the same man she thought she deceived. Inside, every second was calculation. Every word she spoke was measured against silence. Every smile, dissected. The results arrived in a plain envelope. I didn't open it immediately. I set it on the table, watched it, felt its weight like a weapon, waiting. When I finally tore it open, the paper trembled only once. Then stilled. The truth was clinical, numbers, percentages, cold certainty. I wasn't her father. My daughter wasn't mine. I sat in the quiet and let the truth settle into my bones. Not rage, not tears, just a clean severing. A cut so deep it cauterized itself. That evening I set the report beside her dinner plate. Said nothing. She read it, her face blanching, lips parting. Then the stammered words came. I can explain, please, it didn't mean anything." I didn't blink. I didn't breathe heavy. I simply asked one question. Who? She broke. The name fell from her mouth like blood from a wound. I already knew. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I didn't lift a hand. Instead, I slid my wedding ring across the table, watched her flinch at the scrape of metal against wood. Then I stood, walked to the door, and opened it. "Leave," I said. Her face crumbled, searching for a crack in my armor, a hint of forgiveness. There was none. The quiet stretched. Finally she rose, trembling, gathering only what she could carry. As she stepped out, I spoke once more, softly, deliberately. You killed us long before this paper did. The door shut behind her. Final. Absolute. The house was silent. I sat in the chair, the report in my hand. Read it again. Though I didn't need to. The numbers didn't matter anymore. What mattered was clarity. The years of lies condensed into a single moment of truth. And in that moment, the weight lifted. Not forgiveness, not healing, freedom. She thought her betrayal would destroy me, but all it did was cut the cord that tied me to her deceit. I looked around the room. Our photographs, our shared life, now hollow frames of something that never existed. Then I placed the report in the drawer, closed it, and stood. I walked out into the night without looking back, because when the truth finally comes, it doesn't burn, it cleanses. And I was already gone.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.